What is up, my friends, and you are very welcome along to this Arsenal preview here on Anfield Agenda. A massive, massive game in the Premier League campaign. 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. As you can see from the graphic on screen, we will be live from 4:30 with our watch along right here. And look, I'm going to say this is our biggest game of the season so far. Mikel Arteta's men come to Anfield, obviously confident, top of the Premier League, and in very good form. We ourselves come off the back of a great result against West Ham midweek, a great performance, 5 goals scored. I'm expecting fireworks. I'm expecting this to be a game for the ages. Honestly, I can't build this game up enough. It is huge. I have nothing but respect for Arsenal, for Mikel Arteta, for the football that they play. And I'm going to go through as I always do, giving you guys my score prediction and my starting 11 prediction ahead of the game, asking you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with my selection? Do you disagree? And certainly on the score as well. We'd love to know your thoughts. Don't forget to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. So look, I'm not going to hang around. I'm going to get straight into it. And with the score prediction first, I spent a good while thinking about this one. I was thinking, would it be a score draw? Was it going to go 2-1? But ultimately, I feel like we're going to get some festive Christmas cracker. So I'm going to go for a score of 3-2 for Liverpool. I think this game has goals in it, and I think we're going to have one to remember. Whether it's a Liverpool victory in the end or not, I feel the game is going to be one to remember. So me being a Liverpool fan, trying to get some confidence, I'm going to say a 3-2 home victory, but I look forward to reading your thoughts. Now we move on to the important aspect, right? The starting 11. So let's go through and figure out who's available and who isn't. So no Thiago, no Bajcetic. Jota could be in the squad for this one. He is right on the precipice of coming back into the Liverpool squad. Ryan Gravenberch is available, which is good news. No Andy Robertson, he's still ruled out. And Joel Matip, of course, is due to long-term injury concerns. So we've a pretty much as you were squad to pick from for this one. McAllister is still out as well. He won't be back until January. So with that in mind, I have gone through my team selection. I've been a bit bold, made a few changes. I'm confident in my team. I don't know if it's the one Jurgen will go with, but sure, let's go through it. And of course, love to know your thoughts as we move on through. So we start off, as we always do, with the goalkeeper and the centre-backs. And I don't think I'm really going to surprise you with this selection. So I've gone for Alisson Becker, of course, to return between the sticks. And then Ibrahim Konate and Virgil van Dijk in the centre-back positions. Jarell Kwanzaa is a more than able deputy. But look, it's Virgil and Konate. They're the best centre-backs we have at the moment. And they're the ones I fully expect to start this game. So no surprises there. But as we move into the full-back positions, I think this is where you're going to start to see my plan come into fruition. So in the fullback positions, what have I gone for? I've gone for Joe Gomez and Kostas Tsimikas. Now, this is probably giving away my midfield idea straight away. But I think looking at this game, if Trent Alexander-Arnold plays in this hybrid position of right back and central midfielder, I think Martinelli or Trossard or whoever they put down that side is going to cause us trouble. And I think we need to have somebody there to defend. And I think we can't vacate that space against this Arsenal team. They've got enough guile, enough craft, and enough pace to cause us problems. So I'm being respectful when I go with this team selection. That's why I've gone for Joe Gomez at right back. We can't afford to vacate that space. So Gomez at right back, and of course Kostas at left back. He's been pretty stable in all honesty since Andy Robertson has had a shoulder injury. So big shout out to Kostas for that one. So my back four is Kostas at left back, Joe Gomez at right back, Konate and Virgil van Dijk in the centre back positions. So now we move towards midfield, and as I mentioned, it starts to become apparent what I'm doing here, right? So my midfield looks like this. Trent Alexander-Arnold in the six. Now, it's not because I don't think Endo has played well recently. I think Endo's played very well recently. And if Jurgen decides to go with Endo, I've got no issues with that whatsoever. But I looked at this and I thought that Jurgen has teased us with Trent in this position. He's done it later on in games. He did it at the end of the United game. He did it at the end of the West Ham game. He's done it before that as well. And I think he wants to have a go at this. But he just hasn't felt comfortable enough to do it from the off yet. Whether you do that against Arsenal or not, I understand that is a massive, massive call. But I've laid out my thought process behind the right back situation and how if we need Trent to drift in centre to impact the game, we are going to leave space. So I would go with Trent in the number 6 position from the off in this one. There's a valid argument for Arturo Endo. There's maybe a valid argument for going with Ryan Gravenberch for something a little bit different there. I just think we go with Trent and we see who he gets on. Because if he navigates this game and he puts in a good performance there, he ain't going to have many tougher fixtures than this one. So I've gone for Trent Alexander-Arnold in the 6. Ahead of him, I found it impossible not to give Curtis Jones the start after his performance against West Ham. His energy, his pressing, and obviously his goal contributions as well. I feel dirty if I didn't give him the start. So him and Dominic Szoboszlai would be my midfield, my attacking midfield duo. And as we know, Curtis Jones, if needed, can drop back in there to help Trent out a little bit if he needs be. We've seen Jurgen toy with the idea of Curtis Jones in the 6 in pre-season. So I'm confident with this midfield, but I'm not saying it's going to be the one Klopp goes with. So Trent in the 6 for me, Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones ahead. Well, that's not the end of the heated debates or the big decisions. We still have to look at the front line. And again, we've got more questions than answers here. Is Diogo Jota going to be available? Well, I think he might be in the squad, but it would be a big, brave, bold call from Jurgen to start him in this game. So I'm not going to tell you what I've done just yet, but I'm just explaining my thought processes before we get to it. So let's start off with the wide areas. No surprises on the right-hand side, but what have I done on the left? So a lot of you are probably thinking, drop Lucho, play Darwin, play Gakpo on the left. And I can understand that. And I can't say that I think Lucho's been at his brilliant best. But I do think the manager trusts him. And I think because of that trust, he starts the game. So I think we're going to see Lucho on the left. And, of course, Mohamed Salah on the right. You can make a valid argument for other changes on the left-hand side, as I said. You could make an argument to pick Gakpo out there, to put Darwin out there. And it's a fair argument. I just think the manager is going to revert to type. So Diaz on the left and Salah on the right. And then through the centre, this was the toughest decision of all. You know, we have Cody Gakpo, who got himself a very good goal, but was, I think, on the edge of the game for a long period against West Ham. We have Darwin Núñez, who's doing a lot of things well, but then there's the offsides, there's the chance missed, there's the frustration, and there's the manager keep backing him. Well, this is what I've gone for. I've gone for Cody Gakpo because I think in this game there's more benefit to bringing Darwin off the bench if we need something from it than if we start him and bringing Gakpo off the bench, as well as having Jota if he's available on the bench. I just think it gives Jurgen more options, and if Arsenal are tiring a bit and Darwin comes on with energy, we've seen what he can do in the game against West Ham. We've seen the impact he can have from the bench. So that's ultimately what swayed me here. Is I think it would be a bigger impact coming off the bench for him, and Cody Gakpo will give us a bit more solidity. So my 11 for what is the biggest game of the season against Arsenal is Alisson in goal, Gomez at right back, Costas at left back, Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk in the centre back positions, Trent just ahead of them in the 6 with Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai, and then up top Mohamed Salah, Lucho Diaz and Cody Gakpo. Also, I feel like it's very fair to think that I think Elliott will have a big part to play in this game, even if it is from the bench. I think he'll come on and make a difference, and I think the same for Darwin. So I'm looking forward to your thoughts. Again, score predictions for me, I've gone for a 3-2 Liverpool win, and just a reminder that we will be live on Anfield Agenda from 4:30 for our watch along of the game, a game that, I mean, I don't need to sell it to you. It's the biggest game of the season so far, right before Christmas. If we win it, we're top of Christmas. If we don't, we won't be. So look, I'm going to hand it over to you guys now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for your time as always. And if I don't speak to you before Christmas, have yourself a wonderful Christmas. And thank you for watching. Much love. Bye-bye.